Right. So on to another question I have, and I want to know if anybody else has experienced this because it seems like it's a consistent pattern with certain people, I will say, or rather certain employees. And yes, this revolves around employment. Um, I'm curious if anybody has, let's say you've worked on a job, obviously, and then for whatever reason, your employment, either you were laid off or you were terminated. But here's the caveat to that: you were either laid off or terminated, albeit your work was outstanding. Like you had a supervisor, if you will. You had a supervisor who rated your performance as excellent, right? Okay, so then some alternatives as well here. I don't want to necessarily change up the scenario too much, but alternative being that, let's throw in the mix that instead of it just being that you were laid off or what have you, and but your supervisor rated you high, let's say that you had some new supervisor come in, like the supervisor who rated you highly. They went on to go on to have a new job, whatever else it is, they retired, whatever else it is that that supervisor did, and then a new one came in, a new supervisor came in and took over. How many times has that happened to somebody where the supervisor that you were working with rated you highly and knew who you were, knew you got the job done, did everything you needed to do, rated you highly, and then all of a sudden, in a twist of events, another supervisor comes in, and that's when your problem started. I want to find out who, whether it was a layoff, force out, you were fired, or whatever else it was, who experienced something like that. And the challenges that you faced along the way. Like, for instance, if it was just a constant battle to get little things, like it was like pulling teeth to get the smallest things, from the new supervisor. It could be anything. It could be training. It could be anything. Taking your vacation time, anything along those lines. Oh, and by the way, I got to tell you guys, I work for a job where you can't even believe this. You're not even going to believe this. Not a job, but anyway, they paid 3 days. I mean, they gave 3 days PTO. Obnoxious. 3 days PTO. I'll tell you about it.